Today in the crypto space, we see the market kind of going sideways. Bitcoin right around $59,800. Ethereum still hovering around that $2,600 mark. And the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, waiting for these heavyweights to make some critical decisions. Are we going to finally start moving? But which way are we going? Are we going to the upside, or are we coming down so that we can buy those dips and accumulate at lower levels? In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. But more importantly, I want to talk about one project, one micro cap altcoin that definitely looks pretty good, and it has retraced. That project is called Mazze. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunities, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market. We are seeing some interesting price action as far as market cap goes, because we're getting a slow grind to the upside. Could this just be the beginning? I do see a bit of trading volume kicking in. As you can see, we've been trending to the upside, but in the last little while, we've been cooling off here a little bit while still maintaining a trajectory to the upside. Yes, we're still hovering around that $2.2 trillion mark, but the question is this just the beginning? And this is the concern of many individuals in the space, is that as we lead into September, as we, saw many sell in May and go away, when are they coming back? Is September going to be the moment where we see the market starting to wake up again? We definitely leading into the fall, September, October, maybe even to November, we should see some really good volume. Obviously, we want to get the market cap back up to a $3 trillion mark, previous highs, and then obviously price discovery, and who knows how high we could go. If we look at the general market, let's scrape to the top 100. We see that Bitcoin is pretty much going sideways. It has been going sideways. Yes, we do get a few peaks and valleys along the way, and of course we're going to talk about Bitcoin in a second, and then we'll transition into talking about Mazze, a low cap, micro cap project that is definitely looking pretty interesting. A few people buzzing about it. I did do a deep dive on the project, so feel free to go check that out. Links are in the description. It's on the deep dive playlist. Go check it out, because fundamentally I think it's very important for us to diversify into some projects that are not only micro cap, but definitely have the opportunity to continue building with a lot of upside potential. And there are so many that of course are showing some risk because they're new and they're fresh, but there is upside potential on some of these. So taking a bit of a position is not a bad idea leading into the most bullish portion of the cycle, which is the bull run, altcoin season, and so on. Ethereum going sideways 1.2%, and we do see a lot of projects kind of rolling over a little bit, maybe getting to some more sideways. BNB is one of those. Obviously ran up, showing a lot of strength, now taking a bit of a dip, and after an impulse we could expect structure. But if it doesn't get a structure, does come down and hunt liquidity at previous horizontal levels, maybe a little bit of a liquidity hunt, that would be a buy the dip opportunity for BNB. And as we see CZ enter the space once again, we should see some volatility in the BNB chart for sure. Solana kind of going sideways. Solana doing pretty good. We are seeing a bit of a transition from some projects appreciating the fundamental utility behind Solana. Of course, cheap transactions, speed, and so on and so forth. And it's not just meme coins. Of course, it's still meme coins, guys. We know that Solana dominates that meme coin culture. But at the end of the day, we are seeing some good layer ones, good projects that are slowly migrating to Solana. Sorry, not layer ones, but good projects that are Ethereum based or whatever other blockchains, slowly transitioning into Solana as a layer one itself. So that's very, very important to understand, is maybe some individuals are ready to deploy or ready to relocate into a layer one that could basically give them more opportunity. Tron still looking very strong, guys. What's going on with Tron? Meme coins is what's going on with Tron. Tron's finally has released a meme coin, let's call it infrastructure, And in this case, we're getting a bit of those degens getting in there. We're up 23% in the last little while. Quite bullish for Tron, no doubt. But then as we come down, we see AVAX and Cardano looking pretty good. Obviously, up 6% more or less, 5.5%. And it's the structure that what mostly interests me. The fact that we're grinding to the upside and now moving with some, express interest to reach higher levels. For me, that's bullish. That's great. We want to see the large cap, the blue chips, finally wake up. And the only way we're going to get that is to see the capital rotate from, Bitcoin, Ethereum, from those top gainers, because we got to admit, Ethereum, Bitcoin did go well, particularly Bitcoin has been dominating the market. Of course, we're going to talk a lot about the Bitcoin dominance tonight. Guys, feel free to join 8 p.m. EST. But nonetheless, what we have to understand is that we need to see the rotation. We need to see that altcoin season where we see the altcoins appreciate some of those gains, basically that capital that was earned on trading on other projects rotate into the lower cap altcoins, meaning even the blue chips, they're not low cap. We're talking about $14 billion market caps on some of them, 10 billion. Look at AVAX, Cardano. But the reality is we still need Ethereum, guys. Ethereum, the strength of Ethereum is necessary to get that altcoin season. So we're hoping that Ethereum wakes up as well because it has a large market cap. And then because of Ethereum, we could have a greater chance of seeing the Bitcoin dominance fall. That's what we really want to see as an indication for the altcoin season. Let's continue coming down. We do see Matic. Is this a good indication that Ethereum might be waking up? Look at Uniswap slightly above. You can see that it's up 7.7%. The main DEX, decentralized exchange for Uniswap. I would love to see in the main Oracle for Ethereum projects, a chain link, the data feed for Ethereum, or the main one for that matter, should be waking up. And in this case, Chainlink is still kind of going sideways, but we're seeing the ecosystem kind of wake up, which is not bad of an idea. What else do we have? Near Protocol kind of going sideways. I like what it's gearing up to do, guys. Check out that Near Protocol chart. I felt like I should have done a video today, but I want to get more confirmations, but it's looking pretty good. We have ICP waking up as well, 4.4% to the upside. That's pretty good also. And as we keep on coming down, we even see the fork of Ethereum doing pretty good. Obviously, the structure is what I appreciate most. It's a slow grind to the upside, nice channel moving upwards, which is pretty good. And, we can keep on going throughout the charts. You can see VeChain looking pretty good. We're waking up here slow and steady, but nothing major, guys. Nothing major. We want to see altcoins do well, and we want to see the retail investor get into this market. And what's very important to me is to find those indications. And an indication that I've been focusing on for this bull run or this cycle was exchange tokens, because of course now more than ever we have more centralized exchange and they're tokenized. They have tokens, and BitGet token is one of them. Look at the BitGet token chart. BGB right now is looking pretty good. In fact, we're seeing it make higher highs and higher lows. We're seeing it actually round to the upside and potentially getting that momentum upwards. This is looking great. Now, it's not only BGB, it is also Gate token, GT. We've seen this and we've talked about this the last 3 days, that Gate was waking up, and Gate has been moving to the upside very, very systematically, strategically to the upside, given the fact that it could be possible that we're getting a bit of an inflow of retail investor. The reason why I conclude that way is because ultimately, as newcomers, as people get back into the space, guess what they're looking for? They're looking for a platform to trade. And as we see the tokens rise, we got to ask yourself, why is that the case? What is the utility behind that token? And the utility is obviously rewards, earning rewards for holding the token. So if newcomers are coming in and they're holding the token and we see the price goes up, that means there has to be use case and there's people using it. And if there's people using it, we're getting inflow, and that could be a leading indicator. We could see KuCoin wake up. It's slowly grinding. Is it going to break the tops and start running? Possible. It's up 1.3%. Let's keep an eye on KuCoin. And as we keep on coming down the market, guys, we do see some good gainers, of course. We see BitTorrent, BTT looking good, EOS, and many others. The market is starting to look really interesting, including Tezos. Out of nowhere, Tezos is grinding upwards, 4.4%, an OG in the space. So, guys, ultimately, we're doing pretty good here. We're seeing a lot of good indications that we could be ready to start moving to the upside. There are still buy the dip opportunities, like Mantra's coming down a little bit, has been coming down. Still not a bad idea, maybe to start scaling into some positions. And of course, Mazze. Guys, I did a deep dive on Mazze. We talked about Mazze, but we're going to continue talking about Mazze, but not after we talk about Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, guys. I know you're here to talk about charts. Bitcoin at the end of the day should be used as a leading indicator, but the current moment is not that good. To be honest, it's kind of going sideways. It's a poor leading indicator. It's not doing much. It's not giving us an edge. And of course, we should look at this in a little bit more detail because we do see a potential breakout here. And the fact is that if we get on lower time frames, we could consider it a bull flag. We see an impulsive move with a little bit of a retracement. What I do not like is the fact that it's scrubbing through the 200 daily. It's scrubbing through horizontal support. What's interesting to me is that we filled up this level with lots of volume based on the consolidations that we've been having for the last couple of days. But if we include the whole structure, again, a bullish structure, this is a descending megaphone pattern, which statistically should break out bullish. We see that we're slowly filling it up, and we do have a lot of weakness below that could still give the price an opportunity to come down. But my bias is slightly to the upside, guys. Slightly. And the reason being is, ultimately, okay, fine, we go above the 200, below the 200. Right now, we're above it. Okay, fine. I'll say that it's bullish because we're above right now, but be careful because we went bullish, bearish multiple times. But if we get onto the 4-hour, what's interesting to me is that we got an impulse and now we're going sideways, right? It could be the fact that this becomes a nice level of horizontal support, a nice plateau to spring above, finally getting to higher levels and potentially calling this a bottom. Doesn't mean that we can't come down. Look what happened here. We came down for an impulse, went sideways, and then came down for a lower low. Who's to say that that's not going to be able to happen? Right? It is very possible, but as you see, we have a complex inverse head and shoulders currently here. We have a shoulder, head, and shoulder. In fact, there's a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. That is called a complex inverse head and shoulder. And ultimately, we have a many tops that is in a diagonal neckline, which we can also use the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour as the neckline. If we break above that 200 EMA, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour, it is pretty much a confirmation that we're ready to start rocking to the upside. Very interesting lower time frame analysis here. So I'm waiting to see if we can break above. Remember, diagonals are not the greatest, but still that 200 EMA is a very interesting one. If we break above, it's very likely that we start moving to the upside. And think about the phase of the cycle that we're in, guys. If we start to see Bitcoin rally up here, do you know how much FOMO is going to kick in? People are going to fear the opportunities that they will be missing if they see Bitcoin start breaking previous price action. So this is something to consider, guys. Bitcoin right now is pretty much in no man's land. It's going sideways within the structure. But is this the calm before the storm where we actually see Bitcoin run? Guys, of course, stay tuned tonight, 8 p.m. EST. We'll talk about Bitcoin dominance, and I will be taking requests on any projects you want me to cover. I'll be giving you that TA, of course, that analysis and getting those setups going and preparing for the run. If we do get one, we want to make sure that we're one step ahead of the market. All right, guys, let's talk about Mazze. What's going on with Mazze? Mazze, at the end of the day, is a chart that I did do a deep dive on. And when I did do the deep dive, it was a pretty much in July or something like that, right around this levels, which, you know, it kind of insinuated to me that we should be very careful. And I did post a chart on the Discord. This was the analysis, you know, where I was talking about it. And I released this chart right when I did the deep dive. So go check out the deep dive. It's an hour-long video talking about all the fundamentals and obviously my perspective on Mazze and what makes it bullish and what are things that we need to be considerate about, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. Very unbiased approach and honest approach. But ultimately, from a price action perspective, this was a risky time to get in. And I made that very clear. Obviously, we weren't at the top of the range, but I wasn't willing to get in on this green pump. You know, when you see the price action move this way, you kind of want to hang back and let the price resolve. Get a structure or reverse or come back down. And guess what? Mazze did come down. Unfortunate, it did come down. And at the current state, it did hit the green arrow. It hit the green arrow, of which I am interested. And this is where I'm starting to build my position, guys. I got into my first entries on Mazze today, and I am hoping that I would be able to accumulate within a structure down here. One thing that I want to bring to your attention is that we made a low here, and who's to say that we can come up with another low right under here? Now, if we come up with another low, it is very possible that, you know, we get that confirmation low. It's a nice higher low in comparison to this low, which means that ultimately we know that we're potentially making a trend, a change of direction in the trend. So right into this level, if we can get some support, I would be obviously a lot more confident with the fact that maybe we're making higher highs and higher lows. But the major issue at the current moment is that we have this low. Okay, this is the low that bothers me because we made this high, it's a lower high. Now all of a sudden if we make a higher low, what is it going to really be happening here? Hopefully we can roll and get to the upside. And why I want that to happen and why I want structure here is because I want that confirmation. I know that there's a lot of liquidity here to be hunted. I get there's a lot of emotions into this in this particular space. If people are holding bags in here, they're getting very, very emotional at the current moment, which means that we need to see some structure. We need to see a structure. Now, if you look at the candlestick pattern that we're currently making, it's a good one. It's a decent one. It's a railroad track, right? It is a tweezer bottom. This is a great reversal type of bottom. If you look at the previous price action and the previous bottom, you do see that we got a couple of them, and it kind of confirms a little bit of a bottom here. Now it doesn't have to happen right away. It could take its time, and that's why I am getting into my first entries and ready to deploy into this area as we build a reversal structure, an inverse head and shoulder, cup and handle, W formation, Adam and Eve pattern with bullish divergence, and that's something that I really want to see is some bullish divergence. So let's wait for structure, and that would be absolutely fine. Now again, the same way, you know, we got to be careful with tops, we also have to be careful with bottoms. Where do we put our stop loss? And the only way I'm going to be comfortable putting a stop loss higher than this bottom, which is at about 0.002, is waiting for that structure so I can put a stop loss underneath it. Okay, so right now it's very risky, but this is why I'm getting to my first DCA spot bag position. Okay, that's all I'm doing at the current moment. Now, if we look at the oscillators, let's jump right into the oscillators. You can see that we're not even oversold on the daily. We could get oversold. We do see the EMA still facing down on the trend with red histogram bars, with the expansions to the downside. It's still very possible that we continue. So the risk you take getting to a big bag at the current moment is that we actually see the momentum get oversold. Now, what I'm hoping is that the volatility, which is the orange line right here, goes overbought. And I want to see the bullish response. If the bullish response gives us a great or a nice impulsive move to the upside, awesome. And then we'll wait for the bearish response. If the bearish response gives us a higher low, guys, we're good. We're starting to build positions again. I'll be DCAing right at this level once again. And little by little, if we start making higher highs and higher lows, we'll start changing the character of the price action. And change of character is critical when you're doing, you know, basically price and chart analysis. Price action is king, guys. So let me kind of, you know, clean up this artwork so we can make this a little bit more clear. Let me show you what I mean. Ultimately, we want to see that the bears are going to start losing their strength. At this current moment, they're still making lower lows and lower highs. And even if you go on the 4 hour, you can kind of see what I mean. Lower lows and lower highs. Are we getting any change of character right now? Absolutely not. What we are doing is hunting liquidity at this level. This is the level where there's a lot of emotion and we want to hunt the liquidity. As soon as we get some indication that the bears are showing weakness and that the bulls are stopped selling, that there's no more bulls selling and capitulating, then at the end of the day, we should start seeing a change of character. We should start seeing a slow reversal, maybe a nice some sideways price action into here with some bullish divergence. Now, maybe on the 4 hour we're getting bullish divergence, not quite, we're still very early, but I do like the trend reversal here. EMAs to the upside, green histogram bars, but it's very, very small and not with so much strength, so I want a little bit of strength. So this is why I say, guys, at the end of the day, this is a micro cap, and if it does get a bounce here at that confirmation low, the higher low, it's very possible that we go for a higher high, and I will be looking for opportunities at this level to de-risk, of course, but as a small cap project with decent fundamentals, I could see this thing getting into price discovery and potentially doing very, very well in the up and coming bull run, or the next leg of this bull run, which it should be the altcoin season. So right now, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking for opportunities that pose a little bit of risk, of course, but the reward is much higher, while, you know, protecting myself with some good fundamentals. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. See you tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.